grateful to them because it pushed the book up to #1 on Amazon. And secondly, I'm not surprised. I mean, for them, it is any criticism is always poisonous and damaging, and particularly from me. But I can assure you it's very well.
Hey, this situation just took a wild turn, and it's getting messy fast. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss how this keeps unfolding, because it only gets crazier from here. Meghan Markle is seriously spiraling right now because the one thing she tried so hard to shut down has blown up in her face. Tom Bower's new book, Betrayal, just hit #1 on Amazon, and it's not slowing down at all. It's everywhere, and people can't stop talking about it. This is clearly not how Meghan wanted this to go, and insiders are saying she's beyond upset watching this play out in real time. The big question now is simple.
But I can assure you it's very well sourced from the person who heard it from the Queen's mouth. And it's true. I mean, that's the point. It is actually, unfortunately.
What does she do next? And how does she respond when the very book she tried to tear apart is now dominating global attention? From the start, Meghan pushed back hard, claiming the book was full of lies, and she's been sticking to that story ever since early excerpts started making rounds online. She didn't hold back either. She labeled Tom Bower's Betrayal as unreliable and packed with conspiracy theories.
He has made a career out of constructing ever more elaborate theories about people he does not know and has never met. Those interested in facts will look elsewhere. Those seeking deranged conspiracy and melodrama know exactly where to find him.
But here's where things start to flip. Tom Bower isn't backing down, and his sources are being described as solid and well-documented. Meghan didn't just go after the book. She went after Bower personally, calling the entire project a deranged conspiracy, which only made things louder. Meanwhile, Bower stayed calm and doubled down, saying his work is deeply researched, carefully sourced, and built on years of digging. And in a twist no one can ignore, Meghan's strong reaction actually pushed more people to check the book out, sending it straight to the top of Amazon.
Utterly, it's #1 on Amazon. Yes, of course. But the problem with the Sussex is they want to control their own narrative. They don't like people writing about them without their permission.
Instead of stepping back, Bower stepped forward, and he looked completely unfazed doing it. During interviews, he even seemed amused, openly saying he appreciates the backlash because controversy gets people curious, and curiosity leads straight to sales. What was meant to damage the book turned into free promotion, and Bower knows it. He even explained that when powerful names publicly attack his work, it only makes readers want to see what all the noise is about.
All the hopes they had 5 years ago are now have begun to unravel, and I think they're facing debt, they're facing desperation, and then now what is fascinating about this, of course, because they are global celebrities and because of the effect they have on the royal family and on Britain, that what is the story of the last 5 years? And that I tell, whether it's in Colombia or Nigeria, the writing of Spare, the making of the Netflix series, all this is inside stuff about two very, very interesting people who are products of their...
To him, Meghan's reaction wasn't a problem, it was a bonus. Within just 2 days, Betrayal shot up to #1, and it didn't happen quietly either. The more pushback coming from Meghan and Harry, the stronger the book seems to perform, which is a wild twist you don't see every day. Bower even joked about it, saying outrage keeps his bank account looking good, basically encouraging the criticism to keep coming. Every denial, every statement, it's all feeding the momentum. What Meghan tried to use as damage control has completely flipped into a success story for the book. Between media coverage, online debates, and non-stop discussion, Betrayal became impossible to ignore, showing up front and center for readers the moment they log in.
Meghan's people say that she's decided to move on and do this for herself because she doesn't need Netflix anymore, and therefore it's a positive own step forward.
As Mandy Rice Davis said, she would say that, wouldn't she? I mean, the point is, of course, it was a complete failure. It was actually crucified by the critics. It had terrible viewing figures. I think it was something like number 3,000 on Netflix's most popular programs.
Of Tom Bower, they're scared of what he's going to report because they know it's true. They know there's truth to it. If it's just deranged and crazy and fixation and whatever, then just ignore it. The truth will bear out. Generally, people will ignore what they seem as or deem as sort of on a crazy end of the spectrum. But that's not what Tom Bower is doing. Tom Bower is being a journalist here and reporting the facts. And the facts terrify Meghan Markle especially. She can't deal with them. She has to live in her delusional fantasy, and she hates anybody who tries to break.
Bauer even compared this to past moments where celebrity backlash boosted his work, making it clear he's seen this pattern before. In his view, royal outrage equals free publicity every single time. And now, he's taking it even further, suggesting that Meghan and Harry's post-royal plans might not be working out the way they expected, especially when it comes to building stability and long-term success.
Do you think they'll lose their titles when William and Kate become king and queen?
I think it's in balance now. It depends how they behave. If she exploits the royal title in Australia and starts monetizing the way that Sarah Ferguson did, I think that's the end for her.
And this is where things start getting even more complicated. Things didn't go the way they planned at all, and now the pressure is stacking up fast. Stick with this, because the next part shifts everything in a way most people didn't expect. They locked in huge deals with Netflix and Spotify, and at the time, it looked like they were setting up long-term power moves. These were supposed to keep them influential and financially secure for years. But critics are now saying those projects didn't hit the level everyone expected, and some even ended earlier than planned, raising serious questions about what comes next.
Yikes! Harry's cash crisis. He is flat broke, and this program has been told that as the money runs out and runs out fast, Meghan will, and I quote, be looking to replace Harry with a US billionaire. You heard me right. Meghan Markle is going to dump Harry and replace him with a US entrepreneur worth billions.
At the same time, there's another problem. Draining resources behind the scenes, security costs. Without royal funding, they're reportedly paying millions every year just to stay protected, and that kind of expense adds up fast. Bauer claims all of this is creating real pressure in the background, and it's not what Meghan originally had in mind at all.
Also alleged in the book that a supposedly conciliatory tea-time meeting between Harry and his brother Prince William culminated in Meghan snapping at William and saying, "Get your finger out of my face." It says, you say, and I've long thought this, that William harbored doubts about Meghan long before the engagement.
The vision was global status mixed with total financial freedom, but trying to keep that royal-level spotlight without the royal system supporting it has turned out to be way harder than expected. According to him, both their influence and financial strength might be slowly slipping, forcing them into a constant push to stay relevant in a space that moves quickly and forgets even faster. Then things take a sharper turn. Bauer suggests Meghan could eventually look for a way out, especially as Prince Harry is becoming someone she didn't picture long-term. He even claims she might move on and marry someone wealthier, pointing to what he says happened in her previous marriage.
The problem is that Meghan has huge ambition. She is a very resilient, attractive woman to look at, and because of the mystery. But actually, there's a lack of talent. She wasn't a great actress. She's not a great television performer. She was terrific at dishing the dirt, or her dirt, on the royal family, and she's reached the end of the road.
He brought up her relationship with Trevor Engelson, saying she reportedly returned her wedding ring when she started seeing Prince Harry. Now he's hinting that history could repeat itself, depending on how things continue to unfold in her current marriage. And that claim alone is getting people talking non-stop. At the same time, there's a clear effort to rebuild public influence. Bauer believes their international appearances are carefully planned moves to regain attention and status.
I think he desperately does want to come back. I think that's what the whole Invictus Games in Birmingham was all about and is all about. But I think now he's got a huge problem that they're increasingly unpopular. The king can't face him in the way he wants in public. And Birmingham is the worst place to bring the Invictus Games. Harry's plans, plus the protection, which I don't believe he's going to get the way he wants, is going to make it very, very difficult for him.
There were reports of trips designed to look almost diplomatic, but not everything has gone smoothly. A planned visit linked to Jordan reportedly got cut short because of instability in the region, and soon after, the focus shifted toward Australia. Australia carries major meaning because past royal tours there were met with huge public excitement. The idea now seems to be recreating that same energy, but this time, the reaction isn't matching the plan. Petitions pushing back against their visit started gaining traction, and critics began questioning why any public resources should be tied to their presence at all. That shift in tone says a lot about how different things feel now compared to before. Bauer claims they're starting to realize that their royal connection is still their strongest asset, and without it,
And of course, the income has now stopped. Netflix doesn't pay them, Spotify doesn't pay them. She's having to go to Australia for this bizarre health farm encounter where you pay £1,700 to meet her.
You could meet her. I mean, I saw that.
her.
Whether you actually meet her one-on-one, I don't know.
Well, I think you do. You can have a photograph taken with
Oh,
her.
right.
They say that most of the people applying for the tickets.
rebuilding that level of influence becomes much harder. He believes their ideal move would be a public return to the UK, standing alongside King Charles III in a moment that signals reconciliation. That kind of image could instantly boost credibility and bring back global attention. He even connects this to Prince Harry's announcement about hosting the Invictus Games in the UK. If senior royals show up, it could create a powerful visual moment that changes everything. But that plan comes with serious risks.
She's gone to Australia to sell herself at a health congress for £1,700 a time. So it is a story of decline and of desperate attempts to pose as a
Bauer warns that geopolitical tensions, especially involving Israeli competitors, could spark protests and controversy around the event. And if things get unstable, royal involvement could quickly become too risky. King Charles is known for being cautious, and if there's even a chance of backlash, he might stay far away.
But I will tell you that lots of Australian viewers of the Mark Dolan show don't want to see Harry and Meghan. The reason why it went down well in 2018, Paul, is because the Australian public didn't know Meghan Markle very well. Well, they know her now. And what do they know her to be? A gold-digging grifter.
And if that happens, the entire strategy could fall apart before it even begins, which sets up an even bigger problem going forward. This is where things get even more intense, and honestly, it doesn't slow down from here. Bauer didn't hold back when it came to Meghan personally, accusing her of turning her royal identity into a business move. He argues that the Duchess title is now being tied more and more to commercial deals and exclusive appearances, which is raising eyebrows everywhere. He even pointed to that planned wellness retreat in Australia, where tickets were reportedly sold at very high prices just for a chance to be around Meghan.
or as Harry did hope, on their return to Britain in July at the Invictus rehearsals in Birmingham in England. That, in my view, is now looking rather...
That alone got people talking, but it didn't stop there. Reports started surfacing about possible issues with the event itself. Questions about venues, hotel setups, and even environmental concerns affecting nearby beaches. Now people are wondering if everything will actually run smoothly, especially since tickets have already been sold and expectations are high. When it comes to any possible royal reunion, Bauer says things are not looking hopeful at all. He claims Prince William is strongly against reopening the door and may even block any attempt at reconciliation completely. According to him, the divide between the brothers isn't just temporary, it could be permanent. He brought up earlier tensions too, including claims of a disagreement not long after Harry and Meghan's honeymoon, where Meghan allegedly confronted Prince William during a family meeting.
What is really annoying is that we shouldn't have to in any way admire what they're doing in Dusseldorf, because they have wrecked with all their lies. The lies on Oprah Winfrey, the lies in Spare, the lies that Harry said in his interviews about his father and his...
Moments like that, he says, played a big role in breaking trust between them, even after stepping away from royal life at a time when they had massive global attention. Huge interviews, a best-selling memoir, constant media focus, Bauer believes things are now shifting in the opposite direction. He describes their situation as moving from royal prestige into a fight for long-term stability. There's also growing talk about what could happen to their royal titles in the future. Bauer suggests King Charles might avoid making any dramatic moves right now, but once Prince William takes the throne, things could change fast, especially when it comes to using royal titles outside official duties. And while Meghan has stayed composed in public, Bauer believes there's a different story behind the scenes. He says she's been dealing with real pressure and concern, even if she doesn't show it openly. That upcoming Australia trip, he sees it as a strategic reset, a way to reshape her image and regain control of the narrative.
Apparently the hotel, they've barely even finished the swimming pool,
Right.
so it's a complete sort of building site.
So they're basically going there probably, and the pay of the people who've developed the wellness centre to bring some publicity to the wellness centre so they can do some business. I bet you that's what it is.
For Bauer, the title betrayal isn't random. It reflects what he believes is the core of this entire situation. He argues that Harry and Meghan turned away from royal expectations and public trust, and now they're facing the long-term consequences of those choices. But at the same time, he makes one thing very clear. Meghan is still a powerful figure, and she shouldn't be underestimated.
I mean, the real problem, Jeremy, is that both Fergie and Meghan have got one absolute dynamite asset in their pockets, and that's a book. And they can write whatever they like and get away with it. And the more sensational and the more dishonest, the better. And that is a great problem for the royal family.
In fact, he warns that a future tell-all book from Meghan could seriously shake things up. That possibility alone has people paying close attention, especially since her version of events could completely shift public perception. And here's the twist. Her attempts to shut this book down only pushed it higher, helping it dominate Amazon rankings. But now Bauer is watching closely, because if she decides to respond with a book of her own, this story could explode all over again. So now it comes down to you. Do you think Meghan regrets calling the book a deranged conspiracy? Or did that move make things even bigger than expected? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.